From Washington, D.C., NBC News presents Drug Wars Tonight. Here is Tom Brokaw.
Good evening. Once again from the Drug Enforcement Administration Laboratory in Washington, D.C. This is one of 8 crime labs across the country where confiscated drugs are identified and processed as evidence in drug cases. Now, this is not normally the kind of evidence that DEA agents pick up in their raids, but we thought you'd like to see it. It's a .45 automatic pistol that was owned by Rafael Carol Quintero. Actually, it's one half of a match set. This pistol is gold and silver plated. It contains more than 1,000 diamonds in the handle. It's worth between $90,000 and $100,000, and it comes complete with a clip of silver bullets. As we have been discussing in each of these programs, wherever the drug trade occurs, it does appear that corruption is deep and pervasive. That includes Mexico and other countries. One of the scenes in tonight's movie, of course, showed the Mexico prison, where some of the convicted drug bosses were doing time. Here are the actual scenes now, shot by Mexican television last July, of the cells occupied by Carol Quintero and others. As you can see, it was more like a luxury apartment than a jail cell. Quintero and the other drug lords were given suites complete with TVs, VCRs. They had fireplaces, private bedrooms where they were visited by their girlfriends with king-size beds, closets filled with cowboy hats, expensive shirts, boots, designer suits, a kitchen stocked with food and champagne. Later, Quintero said that someone blew the whistle on his jailhouse lifestyle because he simply had not paid the right bribe. 8 times since 1973, American presidents have declared a war on drugs, and there has been a welter of federal narcotics control efforts. But the question remains, can we win this war? Is it a war against an enemy that we still don't fully understand? Are the American people part of the enemy? A question we put now to our special guest tonight, William Bennett, the Bush administration's drug czar. Mr. Bennett, what about the Mexicans? Are they doing a better job these days, in your judgment, in terms of controlling corruption?
I was in El Paso January 4th. I asked our guys there at the border, I said, there's no press here. Tell me, are they doing better in Mexico? They said, yes, they're doing better. I think they're doing better. We need to keep the pressure on, but they're doing better.
But they had a long way to go.
They had a long way to go, and lots of people still have a long way to go.
But in your judgment, are they being vigorous enough in tracking down the suspects that remain at large in the Kiki Camarena case?
Jack Lawn, who's in some ways the hero of this piece, rightly so, tells me that those other people are being brought to justice. But, you know, I wouldn't want to put too much in saying, well, every bit of corruption has to be rooted out in every foreign nation. That'd be fine if that happened. What has to happen is America has to get serious in the way we've gotten serious recently. Panama, helping Mr. Barco in Colombia, backing up these guys so they're not fighting this war alone.
In the Kiki Camarena case, if President Bush were in office now, do you think he would have sent American troops into Mexico if the conditions were the same now as they were in Panama, for example?
Well, I think the Panama situation is relatively unique, but what you're not going to see anymore is these guys out there by themselves without backing. If you look at the critics, what they're saying now is they're saying we're being too active. We're too ready to use the military. We're too ready to use the might of the United States. I think we need to use that force because we haven't for a lot of years.
But half of the drugs now coming into this country, according to most estimates, although Jack Lawn says maybe 40%,
right,
are coming through Mexico.
That's right. Still a hell of a problem there. And one of the reasons is that we've had some luck on the southeastern border. Putting pressure on in Florida has driven more of the drugs overland. We're a long way from winning, but I think we're starting to take the kind of serious action that we should have taken a long time ago.
What about the casual user, so-called, in all of this? The suburbanite or the college kid or the young businessman or young businesswoman who's using drugs? What about their place?
Every user of cocaine is not only killing himself, he's killing people like Kiki Camarena, and he's buying that gun that you just showed us. He paid for that gun. That's what the casual, so-called casual cocaine user does.
Thanks, Mr. Bennett. However you feel about the war on drugs, whether we're winning or losing, whether the tactics are appropriate, what place the drug user has in that war, however you feel about all of these questions, it is worth reflecting tonight on the life and times of Kiki Camarena, especially since other DEA agents who have followed his trail are on the front lines tonight in this war, many of them working at this hour in exceptionally dangerous situations on our behalf. I'm Tom Brokaw, NBC News in Washington. I'll see you tomorrow night on NBC Nightly News.
Tonight, Jay Leno's up to his old tricks on an all-new show with John Chancellor and Denzel Washington. Then Dave's back from vacation with a new look for the 90s, not including George Miller. And on later, George Foreman, fighter turned preacher turned fighter.
I'm looking forward to recapturing the heavyweight championship of the world from Mike Tyson, hopefully.
Turned preacher.
Oh, let me run for the border. They got what I need at Taco Bell. Come on, Louise. Tacos for start 59 cents each. Let's run for the border, Louise. Love those burritos for 59 cents each. So delicious, Louise, my. Let's run for the border, Louise. Nothing I love better than a soft taco. So delicious, Louise, let's go. Let's run for the border, Louise.
I held the record for DUI arrests in my precinct. How could I be so smug and judgmental and yet drink and drive the way I did? It became hard to enforce DUIs in good conscience. My private life became soiled, marital problems. Finally, I got tired of living the lie and entered treatment. Are you living a lie? We can help. Please, pick up the phone and call us now.
Humana Hospital Brentwood Chemical Dependency Center, a place to heal and begin again. Call us 24 hours a day.
Julie Coker, part of the News Center 6 team, only on KTAL TV Channel 6.
From News Center 6, the original Arclitex station, this is Night Watch with Sherry Wagoner, Dale Hoffman, Ron Young, and Daryl Rabouche.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. Dale has the night off. It's the first time a community outbreak of Legionnaire's disease has been traced to a mist machine of any type. That's what happened in Bogalusa in November when at least 2 people died and dozens of others were infected. The machine was used to keep vegetables fresh in the Winn-Dixie supermarket in Bogalusa. Winn-Dixie officials say that type of mister was used in 97 Winn-Dixie stores and all have been removed. 34 cases were confirmed in Bogalusa and 20 to 30 other people may have had the disease. The city of Nash, Texas is contracting with St. Michael Hospital to provide ambulance services for Nash residents. The 2-year contract will cost the city $500 a month, plus bills not paid by Nash residents within 90 days. Council hasn't been pleased with the way Texarkana, the former contractor, handled its booking.
We were being charged to our city an extreme number of calls, and then we had to go through and weed out those that were not picked up in Nash to resubmit and to pay the bill.
The council turned down St. Michael's offer at first and was going to go without ambulance service, but decided differently tonight.